Welcome to the Insurance Stream. I'm your host, Dave Bowling, here today with your 5-minute daily insurance meditation. Today's episode is sponsored by the Fast Track Appointment Program by all of us here at the Insurance Stream. We get you directly appointed with new carriers. It's a new type of aggregator experience, totally different. We're not going to hold you captive. We don't have any exit clause. We've got many carriers to choose from. You can sign up, get going, get your own login, quote and bind directly on the carrier's platform. And then at the end of phase 3, you're directly appointed with the carrier. That is as good of a deal as it gets in the insurance aggregator world. You can learn more at FTAP, F-T-A-P, stands for Fast Track Appointment Program, ftap.insure, ftap.insure. Check it out. We got webinars on there. You can sign up right there, select your carriers, see what carriers are available in your state, and get going on new carrier appointments for your agency. So today, we're going to be talking about how to work with your spouse. This is a huge thing in our industry because our industry is unique in that a lot of us work with our spouses, a ton. So how do you successfully do that? Well, my wife and I have worked together successfully for over a decade, and we've put together a little short list. It's by no means complete, but this will get you started down the path of being able to successfully work with your spouse, being able to grow your agency, and being able to have a great relationship in the process. So step 1, clearly define what your roles are. Don't step on your spouse's decisions. With me, I was in charge of sales. I was in charge of marketing. Not that she wouldn't ever give input on that. When she did, I better listen because my wife is much smarter than I am. But I was in charge of sales. I was in charge of marketing. By and large, she pretty much let me do whatever I want. She was in charge of administrative roles. She was in charge of systems and processes, troubleshooting. She did all that stuff within the agency. And when she set up something, she had ultimate control and ultimate decision-making over that entire side of the agency. Now, early on, there's this idea in most of our heads, at least it's in my head, that sometimes I just know I know what's best. And I need to convince my wife to see it my way. And I had to break that habit early on. And I'm so glad that I did, because oftentimes when I had one idea on something and she had another idea on something, she was right. And you know, if we were wrong, at least we were wrong together. So clearly define your roles. Don't step on your spouse's decision making. If you're like us, you both want to make money. You both want this agency to succeed. And if you guys start going down the path, either one of you, on something that doesn't work, you're going to recognize it. And you're going to want to stop doing it so that way you can get back to what it is that you're truly going to be making money on. You'll figure out what you're doing wrong. That leads me to number 2. Don't be afraid for your spouse to fail. I know with us, my wife had to let me, trip and fall a few times. I had to let her figure out things. And we couldn't be afraid to let the other person make a mistake. Because when you make a mistake, that's how you learn, right? That's how we do it from the time we're babies all the way up until we become adults. All through childhood, we make mistakes and we figure it out. We make a mistake and we figure it out. And it's the same thing in business. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn from it. Again, it goes back to you both have the same goal, is to make money. So when that money making goal or that business growth goal is in place, you're going to figure out what you're doing wrong. Number 3, no major decisions without 100% consent, unanimous consent. If you're both not on board, and you guys got to figure out what that dollar amount is together. Sit down and figure it out. What is the dollar amount on a decision that we need to make together? And then don't ever, ever, ever make that decision without your spouse. And lastly, leave work at work. Don't take it home. If there's a disagreement at the office, if there's something passionate that you guys were talking about at work, realize that's just exactly what it is. It's work. Chances are you've got kids, you've got a family, you've got a house, you got all these other things going on. Your relationship is much more complex and has many more dimensions to it than an average marriage. And you need to be able to leave whatever disagreement it was at work, and then come home and move forward together. Thank you. This has been your daily 5-minute insurance meditation.